I got a chance.
Opportunity, promotion, blah, blah. You know, those are just words.
All I have to offer is words. Just words.
Nobody cares.
Nobody
Shit, I
cares.
forgot to ask you my questions, but it's all right. I'll ask you right now. What's going on, my beautiful people? This is Ron Kane, and welcome to Just Words, Nobody Cares. I sound a little underprepared. It's just because I've been running around.
That's the problem.
Yeah, I mean, you started early today too.
Yo, we started hella early.
Yeah,
Now I'm like,
I feel like I was
fucking
rushing at the last minute. I was like, what the fuck?
I came early. Everything was set up. I was like, oh, shit. Yeah.
You're like, this is how it should be. Good work, team. Good work.
Like, fucking now I'm tweaking the lights. I'm doing this. So yeah. So right now you've got the latest,
Latest and greatest.
the latest and greatest of whatever I have to offer with whatever expertise. I think I'm claiming from these torrented masterclasses.
He's also the head of the R&D department, if you didn't know that.
Is this like a brand new setup? Did you do something
No,
different in the
it's
setup?
just always changing little
Slowly
tweaks.
getting better and better.
Okay, so what has changed this time around versus the last interview that you
Good
guys did?
question. Good
Oh,
question.
so now we have now we've added the rim light to give you a bit more separation from the background. Right?
Gotcha. Wow. Yeah.
But before we get into all that, let me make sure I got my. You guys already know my brother, my main man, who's on deck, Dre Drizzle.
What's going on? What's happening? What's popping, my people? How's everybody doing, man?
How are you doing, my brother?
I'm doing pretty good, bro. Doing pretty good. Summertime coming. You can feel the heat
Yeah.
coming. So, yeah, doing pretty
Nah,
good.
man, yo, the
There's
other
no-
day
I mean,
it
not
was
the heat, but-
75.
How the
Yeah.
fuck that happened?
I don't know.
And then out of nowhere, it was like a cool 40 fucking degrees.
Cold last night. It was cold.
How I went from walking out with just a short sleeve tee to a whole overcoat.
No.
Gotta love
don't know
it.
how to
Gotta
dress.
love it.
Real quick though, because I think my ears were tricking me, but
What's up?
yo, was your intro music the thong song just now? was that what was playing?
Hit it again, Roger. Hit it again.
Ooh, that thing so.
Come on.
Is this the sample song? That's why I was like, damn, Drake. He's like, he's really ready for the summertime. He's talking about, yo, it's hot outside. Yo, shit.
Is that the thong song?
That's an aggressive intro, yo. The thong song.
I don't know how that would play actually.
Nah, I don't think so.
Ooh, that girl's so scary.
Yeah, I thought it was like the instrument. Like you found the sample of the thong song, like where Cisco got it from. Like you got
Is
it.
it though?
No.
No, but is it the sample that Cisco got it from?
No, I don't think so. I think they're like two. I'm gonna have to do because I don't want YouTube to take my episode down or fucking find out that I've been getting by with the copyright.
Edit.
Be careful.
I won't say who the song is from, but I will.
Got it,
I
got it,
will
got it.
on Instagram. I'll put a little compare and contrast
Yeah.
of what the song is and the thong song version
You got
to see
to.
References.
if your shit is even relatively remotely close.
Listen. My ears play tricks on me all the time, so I
But I can
actually.
see what you're talking about.
Right,
Yeah,
it was
they're
just
talking
that
to each
it was
other.
just the
about.
snippet in the
Yeah.
beginning.
Yeah.
I was like, damn,
Like,
Drake.
ready for the summer.
Yeah. Ain't nobody coming harder than the thong song. Cisco's about to send that cease and desist letter over y'all.
Ready
I mean,
for
you
the
should come on
bill.
the show instead.
And that other lovely voice that you're hearing that's always on deck, the lovely, the honorable, lovely Lady H.
That's a new song.
No, it's the same one. It's been the same one.
Yeah, it's been the
Oh,
same.
shit.
time.
It's just, did you shorten the beginning of it?
Okay, you just
Did
want to
you?
go? No.
No? Oh, maybe.
All
I feel
right,
like
so
it's always
my
on.
ears did it again. I want you to just play that very like the 0.1 second of her intro song, and tell me it don't sound like the Ja Rule joint. This is
The New York show?
yeah.
Oh, it did.
That's all you need.
Yeah, I don't know if you got good hearing.
Right? You got references on
Is
that.
that
I can see it. I can see
You
it.
see what I'm
I
saying,
will
Ron?
have to
You got a
put,
sample pack. You used this.
yeah.
You found like a sample pack, and you got all the joints of this shit.
It's just
man.
coincidences.
What's
really
your
good
song?
coincidences.
What's your intro song? You don't got an intro?
Because I just go right off the intro, and I just like, all right, my name is Rocky.
Yeah, he runs the show, so I mean, that is his intro
I would
song.
feel like it would be too much of me saying my name. Be like, all right, guys, here's my intro, and they'll probably
My
be
name is
like,
Ron Kane again.
What would it be if you had like your own separate one?
Yeah.
Shit, I don't know. I would have to think about that one.
I think I'm gonna have to change mine now, bro.
No, you can't change it. It's too late.
I don't want people to think it's the
No,
thong
it's too
song.
lay.
I think that shit is fire, but
Why wouldn't they? You know what I mean?
But we know it isn't the thong song.
But people gotta know there's that underlying like, is it or isn't it? But it's summer. It's almost
Yeah,
summer.
that's true.
Almost summer.
It's all good. It's
It
all
opens
good.
up a whole new avenue for Drake. I didn't know this nigga's a freak like that.
Yeah, well, man,
Still 2023.
we're gonna have to get you. We're gonna throw it back. I'm gonna open up a PO box for you, just so your fans can
Yes.
send you
Valentine's.
thongs.
Little Valentine's.
Listen,
Be they in like thong garments or
what better way
otherwise.
to get active engagement than to put out a request like that?
Yes,
You know what I'm saying?
yes. So let's get that PO box
Yo, we
started.
gotta get that, because I ain't trying to have
I ain't
fucking
scheming
random
through them
thongs.
thongs.
Oh my
I'm not
God.
scheming through them thongs. Well, I don't want the key to that PO box. Y'all gonna pick them shits up.
No, we're gonna get a little thong engraved on the key too. We went.
Fun fact, and I'm gonna only say this because I know my wife's not gonna listen to this. But fun fact, I did at one point in my life have a girl gift me for Valentine's Day a thong, not for myself, but she framed it
Oh, wow.
and then had my name embroidered. in it.
Oh my God, she had it embroidered.
And she had it embroidered. But then I was like, yo, nobody ever wore this. And I just had
Wait,
it just chilling in my room at
Did
like
she
14.
wear it or was it
No,
brand
no,
new?
no,
She
no.
had it.
The tag was still on it.
It was framed, so I never took it
Oh,
out of
alright.
the frame.
Oh, but she must have worn it and
I
then
don't
framed
think-
it.
I don't know,
You don't think she
man.
was at that level?
You
Nah,
sure she
'cause
ain't
they
make,
look-
You sure she didn't make it like some break the emergency glass type of joint? You needed
Break the emergency glass in case you ran out of underwear.
If you
got
miss
this
me,
thong.
if you
Yeah.
miss me, just break the glass and take a good
Oh,
woof.
that's good.
Damn.
Wow.
It's laundry day.
So what happened to this beautiful gift that she gifted
Wait,
you?
but before we even, yo, let me at least intro you. Yo, that other voice that you're hearing, who we got on deck, is our brother. Yo, give your full government, or do I go by? Do you go by Just Watch O, or?
I actually just wanted you to introduce me.
Oh, okay. My bad, because I messed up that little part. Yo, we got on deck my brother, Oscar motherfucking Martinez.
My man.
Yo.
My man, also the creative content maker, Just Watch O on deck. Yo, the thing is that I had a huge intro in my head for you, but then you said, yo, I got nothing to talk about. I'm like, nigga.
It's been nonstop.
We've been laughing the whole time.
45 minutes later.
Literally.
We've been 10 minutes in and I still haven't even given this intro yet.
Yo, man.
But wait, back to your fucking your embroidered fucking underwear.
Oh, what's this new cue?
Look at this.
Every time,
That's
every
new.
episode,
That's
some
new.
new. It's some new stuff. Every
What is it?
episode.
Play it again. Play it again.
You know, that's how I know I have a really like an just an
vast
honorable
library.
honorable woman in my life that does not recognize this tune.
But it sounds nice.
This sounds like 70s
Word,
porn
word.
music,
What the
bro.
I love the 70s. And I'm wearing the 70s shirt right now. Yeah. I do love the 70s. So
If
cue
you
it up,
got-
cue it up.
If you guys watch Pornhub, the little intro song,
Is that
That's it?
really?
Mine
So
is
you
always
were
on
off.
silent, but you see,
You were not up with
see,
70s
I wasn't
porn
that
music.
off. I wasn't that off.
Yo, talking about Pornhub, you know they got like a documentary on Netflix.
There is. There
Really?
is. Yeah.
Yeah,
what?
Yeah, there was a
About
lot
porn
of
creation of
about Pornhub.
Pornhub.
Yeah.
Like
shit.
the company
Yeah.
side?
The
Yep.
company
Yeah?
side, yeah.
It's
check
not
it
as
out.
sexy as you.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what I thought
suspected,
too, yeah.
It
But
was
it'd
straight
be-
corporate.
I'm
It's
interested to
Yeah.
see how the business model started. No?
Yeah.
it's only like a multi-billion-dollar
Right.
industry.
I
Or trillion at that.
Yo, they huge, bro.
It's just
yeah.
so funny. Like, imagine walking. Like, I got a meeting at the Pornhub office. So you're like,
do you?
I know. I took a moment. I was like, wait,
Yo, that's.
tell us more.
Tell me about how you're gonna get fucking consumer engagement up.
I don't think. I mean, that's pretty much set already.
shit.
It's a
Consumer
lot of-
engagement.
Well,
That's there.
they gotta expand their niche. I feel like they're very focused on just
Pornhub needs to go experiential. That's the thing.
Experiential.
They need to go
AI.
experiential. They need to start building out these like activation spaces in interesting neighborhoods. Because think about it, like, yo, right now,
Pep talk.
you remember not the bus, the Bang Bus. Y'all remember Bang Bus?
Bang
back in the day?
Bros.
Bang Bros. But the bus is called
I heard of them.
the Bang Bus.
I heard of them. I heard of them. I heard of them.
Yo, so that
thong
right there is genius, right? Because you got this bus going around neighborhoods and they looking for guys who want to have sex.
Yeah.
And it's like, hey, and at
Oh, because they
first,
had the girl in it already, right?
the girl's already in it.
Shit
The
never
girl's
stopped by the
already in
hood,
it.
bro. That shit never
But
stopped by
why?
the
How
hood.
come it's only in Miami?
But y'all know that all
Like
that
imagine
shit is
there's
staged, right?
No, it's definitely. It
There's
has
like a
to be
line
staged.
production
Yeah,
manager
Sure it is.
on
I
it.
knew that.
There's like a call sheet.
However, as a way to sell sex dolls, they should do that. Because you fucking have a bus and you introduce fucking AI and or like VR experiences.
Yeah, with the
And-
sex doll.
But I don't know, because isn't that like the future? Because you want to feel in
Pornhub.
touch.
Yes,
we're
but do
gonna
you
need to
try?
check for this.
Do you check this? Like, is it a demo
that's the
situation
thing. It
on the
can't-
bus?
but
Like-
That's a thing. There's so much of those new things out right
Those
now.
sex
Yeah.
dolls go for like 10K.
Oh
a pop.
yeah,
They got ones that talk
creepy.
back.
No, for real, they're
They got
so
shit
creepy.
yeah, it's creepy looking shit out
Yeah.
there. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah,
They've got
yeah.
different
That's wild.
models. So you can get a
Yeah.
Russian one. You can get a Puerto Rican one.
There's a wait list.
There's for the Puerto Rican one, there's a crazy one.
That's gonna stop the world's population right there, bro. That's gonna
Yeah,
stop
for
it.
real.
That's what's
for real.
happening
Stop it.
right
10K?
now. Isn't that
You
happening
don't
in
gotta
China?
pay for a date ever again.
But they,
You don't
they
gotta
gotta
do shit.
clean it though.
Yeah, you clean it. That's fine. I'm
That's
pretty sure
fine.
they're gonna.
That's okay. That's
See,
fine.
It
They don't
sounds
talk,
good.
so that's the point.
It sounds good that you got to clean the sex doll, but how many niggas you know that have bongs that they haven't cleaned in mad
Exactly.
long, and they still taking
asco.
pulls from the bong?
It's
Qué
disgusting.
asco.
Oh, shit. I'm pretty sure they're gonna have.
Then they're gonna be
dropping
YouTube
sensors to
videos.
Drop them shits off and clean them.
There's gonna be YouTube videos of
Instructional
how to clean your
Yeah.
sex dolls.
Nah, but then,
Content.
but then you start a company that you
That-
go
that's
hire
very
people to
good.
clean them.
We sell
To come over and
we
clean
work
them.
Come over
with
and clean them,
Lysol,
yeah.
and we create a specific version
Just for that.
for wipe
No, no.
wipe
Oh my
downs.
God.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Wow. I'm
terrible.
really glad that I've navigated this conversation into this direction right now.
Yeah, because it's all about working towards being the producer, not the consumer.
Correct.
Because I'm not here to talk
Yes.
about it. I want to be in this bus.
They're a little worried for a variety of reasons.
It's like
I mean, I feel like we all wanted to be on that bus at some point.
I've been on the corner waiting for the bus.
The bus never
It seems
came.
to never show
They're
up.
like, what color is that fucking bus again?
Why is it? See, but that'd be so wild. Like, imagine a bus out here in the Heights, though. Like,
Imagine. Oh my god.
Todos los tigres. Hey,
Oh,
yo.
Nah.
Oh my
That shit won't make it up the block.
That shit would just be stationary. It'd be like all the weed trucks.
No.
With the little the
That shit would be
sandwich sign outside.
stationary.
Come back in 30 minutes. Like,
oh man, yo, no, that's it.
Lord.
Once sex work gets legalized, it's a wrap.
And that's where it's going.
Yeah,
it is.
Right? It has to be
It-
going
it's,
that
but you
route
know
now.
that it's just us, right? It's just
Oh,
us
shit.
here in the U.S. Like, once you leave the U.S., sex work is very
Yeah.
common.
It is.
You
It
go
is,
to
right.
Is it
Colombia.
protected?
You're right.
Is it protected?
Yeah.
I mean,
Like, do they have protections?
course not.
Legal
Oh,
protections?
Well, like red light,
That's what I'm asking.
the red light
What
district,
rights to women?
red light
I'm sure-
in Amsterdam.
No,
Yeah,
there's-
exactly. But I'm sure that they're protecting themselves. I don't
Yes,
know about
yes, yes.
Oh no. But do they have benefits? Do they have medical
Right.
benefits?
Because you
Do the-
said
do
it's
the
just
people in red
us,
light
but the
district
sex
have 'em?
industry's rampant.
believe in
here.
Amsterdam.
It
they
is,
do.
Yeah.
but this is the thing, and it's funny that you said that about the benefits thing. Freelancers don't get benefits.
But that should change as well.
That should change.
Oh, yeah.
But there are systems in place for freelancers to be able to go ahead and get medical benefits.
Right.
and all
Right.
that.
Join the union and
Sex
all that.
workers and hookers should be in prostitutes or whatever you call them.
Tokischa is trying to unionize
Sex
sex
workers.
work in DR.
Really?
You see how
Oh, that's pretty
I don't know
cool.
how
Good for
that's
her.
gonna happen because DR is
No, DR is
so
DR.
anti against
Right,
all of
right,
that,
right,
you
right.
know.
fucking
But
colonized
it is
Christians.
genius though. Think about that. Like what she's thinking about, like let's unionize sex workers.
It's
Oh, she
That's
can't do it
really-
here because she's not a citizen.
correct. And so over there, and so
Man.
that's like now her premise of, because although she gets slandered for her musical content,
Yeah.
the reality is she's part of that underworld, that
Right.
bajo mundo, and so she's introducing a perspective of reality. And I think for anybody that would be anti that reality should work towards making people's lives better, rather than disenfranchising them.
Right.
But because we're from a colonized country where Christianity reigns supreme, or whatever other religion that isn't by us, it reigns supreme, and they disenfranchise those group of people. But who are the ones that are the biggest customers? The Europeans that come from overseas, the Americans that go, and it's just that cycle of systemic exploitation.
Yeah.
And we never take care of our own. So I do applaud her for, outside of her artistry, using her platform to introduce a broader awareness. And so I think it's dope. It's just it's not just only like, yo, I'm twerking my ass and going crazy. Like, she does have another mission outside of it, and so I applaud her, man. Like, I think
So how did the Bunny Ranch in Vegas work then?
the dude basically that I forgot the guy's name, but he's in Nevada, man. Nevada is a fucking hole in the wall. People at the end of the day need to make taxes, need to make bread, introduce tourism. It's a business. Right. So when you go into these places where there ain't nobody around, it's the Wild Wild West.
No, that's literally where it started from. Is from the westward expansion. All the cowboys out there, all the brothels.
I mean, prostitution's been around for.
I think it's the number.
Yeah,
It's the first job there was out there.
It's the oldest profession in the world.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So. Why not?
Doing something strange for a piece of change. You can't go wrong with it. You know
it ain't strange if you're into it.
It depends who you ask. Yeah. Some people enjoy it.
I had no idea that the conversation was going to go in this direction.
At all, bro. At all. I'm not into sex work. I don't promote sex work.
I am pro do it maximize your circumstances.
Yeah.
That's what I am. I am pro maximize your circumstances.
And protect yourself and safe sex. Safe sex.
And empowerment. 100% for empowerment.
Exactly.
So
whatever works best for you, it's one of, because the other day thinking about something as simple, as basic empowerment, right? Like, and I remember not too long ago, I think like a year ago, I had one of my boys here, and the song Wet Ass Pussy.
WAP.
WAP.
Damn.
WAP. Yeah. And I was like, I think it's a really good tune. Like, I think it's a good tune. The music is dope. The lyrics, people, whatever, right? And my niggas, like grown men, had the audacity to be like, nah, that's just a bad influence for the little girl.
It's so stupid.
I think about this a lot. Because there's a growing genre. There has been a growing genre over the past couple of years called pussy rap. The city girls.
You put me on to a song the other day.
I put you on to Sexy Red. Sexy Red from
they rap about is pussy?
Yo, please drop the line. What's the line?
Oh wait, which one? So the Sexy Red song, I've been playing this nonstop, and it's just ignorance and ratchetry, but it's just kind of like
ignorance and
fuck it, yo. Shorty goes, yo, my coochie pink, my booty hole brown.
Hottest bars.
Bars.
I think last week, or no, not last week,
Keeping
a
it
few
real.
weeks ago, we were talking
Keeping it
about
real.
briefly
Everything about
that redheaded, or she has
Icy Spice.
Icy Spice, and you're like, oh yeah, she's got a song talking about sitting on,
Munch,
right? And people are up in arms about it. I was like, really?
I think
for real about eating someone out? Like, what's the big deal?
Men are not. We're not used to because I'm not gonna front like. Let's keep it real. Oh no, we grew up with Little Kim, Foxy Brown, and all of that. Yeah. And it was a very different type. Like, I remember that Little Kim album. I forgot which one. It was probably one of her second album. The one that it was like the music video. She was like,
like a doll,
Yeah. But like. There was
Notorious Kim, I think it was. Yeah,
that entire album, even like when you opened up the CD and you took out the pamphlet, it was over sexualized. And like I'm in high school when this came out, and I was like, damn, this is crazy. Even like, you know what I'm saying? Like, cause I'm so used to you coming from, listening to Lox, listening to DMX, listening to Jay-Z, listening to Big Pun.
Hypermasculinity.
Hypermasculinity.
Murder.
Exactly. Death. You know what I'm saying? Like, DMX, blood of my blood, flesh of my flesh. And I tell people all the time, this is one of my favorite albums of all time.
You didn't think It's Dark and Hell is Hot was better?
Absolutely. But for some reason, and this is completely off tangent, I like sequels. I like the part twos of everything.
Really? Everything? That goes into movies?
Superman 2, my favorite Superman of all time. Like, I don't know why.
Batman Returns over Batman?
Back to the Future 2. Best one.
Just you like them as pieces themselves?
I just
or-
like those for some reason.
Yeah.
It's the sequels, and like, so you know, sometimes people,
Sequels could go south, though.
they could go south.
They could go
real
Often than
south.
not.
They could
But
go south.
when a good sequel is done, especially in the 90s and stuff
Yeah.
like that. But anyway, back to the music shit. Yo, like, we grew up in this like uber masculine time, especially when it came to music and entertainment and all this stuff, that like this is what you're used to. Like all the sexy kinky shit that women do, that's not to be said.
women have no voice.
You know?
They can't
Like,
do that. That's improper.
And it's like, yo, I don't know for the men that are here, you're like, and that are listening, like, I don't know if you guys have ever felt this way, but like, have you ever been with someone, you know, in a relationship that they were like very sexual and they were very comfortable with their sexuality?
And you like, what the
where,
fuck
where
is
it
she
was like, damn, I thought I've been with some people. I thought I had experience, but shit, you really got this shit. You know? And then you start really understanding, like, yo, sexuality is this thing to be to be very comfortable with, you know? And you should be able to have conversations about it. But like, you know, even with some men and some women, it gets very like, I feel uncomfortable having this conversation with you. And like the other day, Ron and I were having a meeting actually about, it was a podcast meeting for my other podcast, and we were having this conversation about sex. And one of my co-hosts, he was there. He's like, nah, I'm not doing this.
Oh, damn.
I don't want to.
Really?
How
do we
deep did the
bow out?
conversation got, though, that he can't even talk about it?
We were considering having on a guest that would be a sex therapist. And
That's interesting.
yeah, and so
Right.
and having that conversation, that's
Is it a man or a woman?
or would it be a woman?
Woman. Can they come on this show? I mean,
for
if y'all
real.
don't take her. Yeah, if y'all
But
don't take her.
what was so uncomfortable to him, though?
He's uncomfortable talking
idea.
about his personal experiences.
But I'm like, yo, you don't got to talk about you.
Right,
No,
exactly.
right?
You-
It's a
you don't gotta
topic.
talk
It's
about
a
you. You can
topic.
talk
Nobody
about
wants to hear about you.
I have a friend.
No
You know
one
what I'm
wants that
saying?
picture
Like,
in their head.
exactly, but that's the thing. It's like, I have a friend that used to do this.
Yeah, you could go that route.
Right,
You could
right.
go that route. You could
But
go that
it
route.
just goes to show you like how many people are so uncomfortable having this conversation about sexuality.
And I think some of it also speaks to the colonization mindset and Catholicism.
Absolutely.
And the shame. There's a lot of shame.
lot of shame.
And they beat that shame stick on, you know, all of us that come from colonized countries in Latino America. They beat that shame stick. And it's hard.
because
It's
they
hard
beating
to
that
shake
shame stick,
Yeah.
but in private they beating their shame stick. You know what I'm saying? Like,
in like very fucked up circumstances too. Yeah.
but listen, man, this genre of pussy rap is wild, yo. It's very,
I
very
love it.
wild. It's dope. Like
Yeah.
if you listen, and it's really like women taking all
It's
the power.
empowerment.
It's
And so,
all-
and so that's what I think it comes down to. I mean, in my humble opinion, because you got to, if you understand the complexities of the sociological aspect of everything that's been happening, it's been okay for men to talk about women for whatever eternity, right? And the idea, even on a micro level of you being at home, if you learn or know that your wife has been with a slew of partners, that kind of that takes away from you, right? Like your ideology
extent.
of ownership, of your ideology of like
Of ownership.
Well, because of like this is mine.
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Like,
yeah,
there you
yeah,
go.
yeah,
because
yeah.
let's be
It is,
real.
yeah, yeah.
That's
where it's coming
that's
from.
where it's
Yeah,
coming
yeah.
from, and not me personally.
Yeah.
I mean, like, it's one of those things because, especially in the hood, if you got like 20 niggas up the block being like, "Yo, Rachel was my bitch.
Yeah.
I hit that." Da da da. Yo, that shit fucking eats away at your ego because
hell
niggas
yeah.
is not forgiving.
It's an ego thing.
But
It's a huge ego thing.
and so then the ego, and so then what you do? You take away from that, and you control the woman, and you say, "Yo, you ain't allowed to fuck nobody."
Yeah.
But me, I could have 8, 4,
Right.
10 wives or whatever, and I could do as me. But if women were to do that,
They'd be destroyed.
then where does the hierarchy fall within, with men? And especially when you got a lot of weak niggas in positions of power.
Right.
Like there's a lot of dudes that are soft, right? And you take that from them where they have the power trip of, money. Money is not real. It's not backed by anything. So what are we exchanging here is paper. And all that shit is coming to light now, like, or at least people are acknowledging it. You take money away, you take women away, and what are you left with? Property? You don't know how to fucking do your grass. So what you gonna do with the land? You ain't gonna grow anything on it. So you just want to keep yourself secluded from the world. The power that women possess is so vast.
So vast.
That if you give it to them, and now especially women of color, niggas is fucked.
But see, that's the problem. It's less about saying that we're giving it to them. We're not giving.
Oh, no,
we're not giving
no.
women shit.
My-
It's just that women
give.
they stepping into the light more,
When I
taking
say
ownership of
we
it.
giving it, I mean I meant the systemic
The patriarchal society that everything is functioning.
everything that's already been in place, because I ain't got nothing to give. I ain't got shit to give. Yo, you, man. You know, I've been over here trying to holler at a bitch since whatever, and if she give me the time of day, I feel like I won. But that, you know, these are realities. And the thing is that when you look at it, you know, from that lens, rather than the lens of all the other shit that people of color come from, which is women that have been abused mentally, spiritually, physically, yo, you know, they've been physically been beaten down. You know, how many times, I mean, I remember as a kid, for me, my pops was cool, whatever, but my mom's her endeavors in life were always, they were issues. And whenever she would bring work life to the house, yo, my pops would flip the fuck out. And the next day, this bitch is wearing like big ass glasses, and I wouldn't know why, but because she had a black eye, my pops whooped her ass and all that. And it's like, yo, I come from a home where shit was, I think, okay, but I know where people were not good. And their circumstances in the terms of, you know, the tank tops, the A-tanks, but them shits, we call them wife beaters, and never thought of it because niggas were really beating their wives. And so, yo, it's so complex. And for me to see women celebrating themselves, and yo, if you're not for it as a man, then fine. Don't smash the chick. Don't give her the time of day. Keep it moving.
Yeah.
But to be mad at them for wanting to take or to own their power,
to do whatever they want.
then you're just a fucking hater, bro.
That's it.
I think what happens with men in general is that it takes a long time for us to mature. It takes a long, like, we've been hearing that since we were kids. Until you get to a certain point of your life, you start to really understand that. Like, you really start to understand that. And even in that conversation around women having multiple partners, like, all right, whatever. Like, at a certain point, it doesn't matter. But again, yes, there are a lot of weak, immature men that are out there. A lot of misogynists that are out there that, like, nah, she needs to be,
bitch.
yeah, she needs to have been a virgin with a body count or a body count less than 3.
But then that too,
You know,
like,
like-
how can she be a virgin? Because if she's not experienced, then she's whacked.
Hey, that's true too, though. I don't want no
It's a
dull
Virgin
bitch.
Mary whore complex, and that specifically is to a lot of Latina women, actually.
And at the end of the day, people got the choices, and when you meet somebody, you gotta get to know the person. You have to be open to see what y'all both want. And at the end of the day, if you grab a shorty that you know she been ran through the block, what do you expect?
But what if she
What the fuck do you
changed?
expect?
What if she's different now?
Yeah,
Yo,
and
maybe
she
all
comes
the
with
niggas
all
that
the lessons that she learned.
or maybe all the dudes that she's messed with happen to be all
Nah, because
fuckboys. She attracts fuckboys, you know?
for,
Like,
for a woman with a lot of different men and it fucks with their psyche, bro. It fucks with them as in they just keep searching, bro.
Yeah.
They keep searching.
It's a lot. I mean, but just
think
even the
it's a
power
spectrum.
of having a man on top of you. Like, I don't know. There's just so much that goes into the physical natures of it. And especially, like, I don't know, but yo, in communities of color, there is always this rumor that people are not, they don't reciprocate love to women. In other words, yo, all these bitches complain about, like, nigga, you ain't make me come.
it's so much more than
I'm trying.
We can have
There's
a whole
no
other
listening
podcast about
happening.
that.
Yeah, and the other day, I thought of like some random shit about how everything needs stimulation in life. So something before being entered. So something as complex as the woman's pussy, stimulating the clitoris before you walking in, and then something
It's
as
real.
simple as the mind. You got to stimulate the mind before you can be receptive.
Absolutely.
So I was like, yo, you know, we talked about the pussy being a portal. It's a portal to life.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yo, then that makes sense how the receptors are still there, and the receptors being. Doesn't the clitoris have like the most?
It has like
receptors?
thousands of sensors.
Sensors.
A lot of nerve endings.
Nerve endings. my
Nerve
bad.
endings, that's what it
it
is.
is. My
Yeah,
bad. I
yeah.
said receptors. But, but it's
lot.
like, yo, it receives a lot of information. Nerve endings. And so, but before it should be answered, you stimulate the clitoris. Before the mind should be answered, you stimulate the mind. Like
It's a lot
all
of
this
keypads with numbers that need to be entered.
That's a lot of work for 5 minutes, bro.
That's why you gotta throw Netflix on first. That stimulates the mind.
Stimulate the mind. Stimulate the clitoris.
Then you gotta have a heating pad on deck, just in case, just to make her lower tummy feel nice and warm.
It's just so much shit.
It's a lot.
man.
It's a lot. It's a lot.
Yo, man, but you know what? All that shit aside,
That was an intro, by the way.
Yeah, how did we?
Pussy power.
Pussy power.
Yeah.
You see?
yo,
Just
pussy
throw a
power,
whole show away.
pussy power with Just Watch O.
Wow.
That was the intro that I wanted. I wanted to make sure that got off first.
Yeah.
Shout out to women. Shout out to
Shout out
Man
to
came
all
in with
women.
an agenda.
Yo, this shit is just. To any listeners that we may have, thank you for being patient with our tangents.
It's bound to
It's
be
for all
many more.
fun. It's for all fun.
The idea is for you to feel like you're in the living room with us.
Yeah. That's a regular conversation.
This is the conversation we prep for.
Right? Like, what?
Yeah.
Jesus.
All my notes.
We can check that one off.
Yeah. But on the flip side, nothing to do with porn or anything along
Pussy.
those lines. Pussy. You mentioned earlier that you've had a whole life of being in front of a camera.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's not.
I forgot about that. Thank
Right?
you for remembering. Yeah.
And she was like,
Bring
don't
it
forget,
back.
don't forget.
I
don't
know.
forget.
I forgot.
Yeah. Don't forget. Don't forget.
Gold
don't
star
forget.
for you, Ron.
Don't forget.
So just to give people a bit more context, especially given our previous episode and our previous guest, Mike Diaz, Juan Bago, whom you had worked with. Mike dropped the song Black and Yellow, the
Pan con queso.
Pan con queso, right? I thought in that time that you and Mike wrote and rapped it. Then Mike shared a reality with me, and that was like a little, oh shit, word. I was like, what the fuck?
I love this because you're not the only person. So
Yeah. that shit took us by storm. Like, no way.
Oh yeah, and the thing is, like, since I'm recording myself, and I see my facial reaction, and I'm like, what the fuck?
Wait, what was the reality?
The reality is
Somebody else wrote it.
Somebody else wrote it.
And sung it.
Wrote and sung.
And rapped
And
it.
did
Yeah.
they get credit?
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
But then
Somebody
they
else?
are not the niggas in front of the camera, so nobody knows them.
Yeah.
So it's like, but shout out to our brother Jeff, who wrote and rapped the track.
Wow.
Both
verses?
No, not both verses. Not both verses, but Jeff wrote and voiced essentially my character for every single song that we did. So Mike, myself.
But before going that far, then you shared with me like a little tidbit how you actually were the one to text Mike at like midnight.
Yeah.
Yo, think about this. Black and yellow.
Yeah.
Pan con queso.
Mike said that
So-
too. Yeah.
And I'm like, so Mike, what the fuck you doing? What the fuck you did,
Producing.
And then he just showed up and blew the fuck up. I'm like, coño, that's the type
Damn.
of love. But did you put it all together?
No, I didn't. I came up with the idea.
You came up with the idea.
I didn't put it all together. I'll give Mike the credit of putting it all together. So, I'll take a few steps back before that because I did mention that I've been in front of the camera for a very long time and all that. And that actually just came because I'm wearing a hat, Dre's wearing a hat, and so I'm a little darker skinned. I'm a little chocolate. But what does that mean? So anytime I'm in front of a camera, like, you always have to have extra, like, really good lighting.
Yeah, you do.
Because when you're working with darker
Lose
skinned
your eyes.
individuals, like, you have lighting changes completely. Like, so I've always, whenever I've been on set, like, I've been standing there as they adjust lighting for like literally 45 minutes to like get the perfect tone of brownness on me. So I get that. Anyway, my point is, taking it back in terms of Mike and all of that stuff.
But what were the projects that you were originally exposed to that put you in front of the camera?
So I started modeling super early on when I was 5 years old.
Who put you under that?
My mom.
Really?
Yeah. My
Shout out
mom.
to my
Yeah, and it was just kind of like, you know, I'm a lonely child raised by a single parent, and so my mom wanted me to expose me to literally everything, and she did an amazing
on
job
her.
of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, like sports
Shout
and all
out
that
to her.
stuff. Even though the sports thing didn't stick,
But modeling
but
shit.
modeling was a lot of fun. I know it was a huge commitment for her because, you know, it was taking me downtown and going to these schools and like doing these runway shows and
Oh, you were doing runway shows. Wow.
yeah, like kid stuff, and then I ended up
Do
doing.
you have any videos?
No.
They have the big camcorder back.
Yeah, you talking about this is like 1992, you know?
Please get me the tape.
Yeah. So I guess my biggest accolade from back then was ending up in a Sears catalog. Like,
No way.
Do you have the Sears catalog?
it's somewhere in my mom's house.
What year is
Damn.
it?
These are talking about like 93.
93. Okay.
Shout
I'm
out to
always looking
Sears.
for
Remember
catalogs.
Sears?
Yeah,
Damn,
that's pretty
Sears,
cool.
man. So
Probably
then,
look it up online.
yeah, and so I did that for a little while, stopped, and then whatever, figuring out my life as a 5-year-old and shit. And,
No pressure. No pressure.
no, but I'll fast forward to you know, when I got back in front of the camera, which was in college. You know, so in college I was that guy in college
What school did
that
you go to?
I went to LIU, CW Post down in Long Island. And had a great time there and all that. But I was one of those people in college, you know, that I did everything because I still like, and as an adult now, I'm like, damn, yo, you really do have ADHD and you just never done anything about it. That's why you're always moving around so much. So like I was super involved in a bunch of stuff. I was an RA, I was in a frat, I did I worked 3 jobs, you know, did a bunch of stuff. So a bunch of homies that I went to college with, they were in the film school. And so they would use me as like, hey, can you do this? Or, hey, can you be my subject as a photographer, like as I take pictures and shit. And I was like, all right, cool, whatever. In college was when I started to kind of like really find my voice and start realizing that like, yo, I'm really comfortable in front of like a lot of people, which I took for granted because I'm a Virgo. So everything in my mind is very practical, you know, like, and I feel like if I could do it, anybody could do it, you know, like I'm not anybody special. And it took me a couple of years and then looking back and I'm like, damn, I guess it was a harder thing to do than what I realized. So I started hosting like step and stroll shows for fraternities and sororities and stuff like that, which was really, really great.
Did you ever step yourself?
No, I did not.
That stepping should be looking cool. as hell.
It looks amazing.
Yeah. My brother. Shout out to Al. He's a capper, so
Okay.
that's the dude with the canes and shit.
Yeah.
He tearing my mom's floors up with that.
And that was the wild thing too, because I remember when I was in college, I think my freshman year, that's when that movie Stomp the Yard came out.
Oh shit.
And I was like, yo, this is fucking dope. I want to do this shit, you know what I mean? And then I ended up joining a fraternity that does not step and stroll at all.
Which one are you part of?
It's called Phi Iota Alpha.
Is that what?
I don't know if that's
Rolly and
Yes.
David?
Fiota.
They part of it?
Yeah.
Oh, so them niggas just do salsa or some shit, right?
We got like 1, 2. We got like 3 family members that are Fiota.
Yeah. So
Supposedly our uncle started that shit.
His
Wait, which one?
chapter in Stony Brook.
He did?
His chapter in Stony Brook. I think
probably in the
though.
80s, yeah, probably.
I
It's
can't see him
possible.
in a fraternity.
Oh yeah, he was. His
I feel like there's a lot of old
Weird.
people that I probably interact with that are
Yeah.
in
In
organizations,
Fiota,
and
yeah.
you're like, oh, I could never
You?
picture you. You know,
I
like,
think he started it in Stony Brook.
yeah.
Oh, is
yeah.
that
I don't
what it
think he
is?
started the whole shit. I don't know.
Probably the chapter.
Probably
you
the
know,
chapter
yeah.
started.
That
Yeah,
motherfucker be gassing
Fuck
it.
out of here.
That's still a very big deal. Man. That's still a very big deal. But anyway, yeah, I ended up joining this organization, and because I couldn't step and stroll, and I wanted to still be involved in that world and get girls and all that other stuff, I was like, all right, well, I could be on stage and I can present and I can, be myself, and whatever happens, happens. And that worked out super well. Whatever. Ended up graduating college. The New York Latino Film Festival was happening. So we're talking, this was 2010 now. So film festival was happening, and there were submissions to become the official host
Oh,
for
shit.
the film
Oh,
festival.
cool.
And I was like, I don't know if I could do this, but fuck it, I'm gonna just do
Right.
it. And I sat in my room in my mom's house, and I had my laptop in front of me, and I just made a video on iMovie of myself.
No.
And it was the corniest thing in the world, bro.
What
like
did you
I'm
do?
a big Superman fan. Like
Do you
I
have this
love
video?
Superman. It has to be somewhere. Yeah, I
Gotta
can.
give
I'll
me all
find
of
it.
this.
But I'm a big Superman fan because I just love the duality of being able to switch between, you know, one person to being this like superhero of another person, you know, like, and it is a kind of common thread that I've just kind of kept within my life in terms of just like code switching and shit like that, and like the importance of it. And at the end of look, I know code switching has always been like that's always been a big topic of conversation, and I think
He
like
said, "Let me go into the the telephone booth, and take off these baggy jeans for these fucking chinos."
And so that's essentially what I did in front of this laptop.
shit.
I'm legit wearing a suit. I'm wearing a suit jacket, a shirt, a tie, and then I'm starting to give my introduction as to who I am, and then I'm like, no, hold on. Start taking my tie off, take everything off.
Oh, you went full Clark Kent?
Yeah, I put a hat on, and it was literally in my mind, it was, I'm doing this because I want to show them that I could do both. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, that's
Also
smart.
included
Like,
both.
That's
so
smart.
I wanted to show like there is a professional side of me if I need to be this, but
Right,
this is
right.
actually who I am, right?
If you
That's
need more
good.
flavor, more spice.
Yeah. So that was my thought process, and then I was like, all right, fuck it. I made this video, told them why, got my mom involved, got some voiceover from my mom, put some pictures in there and
Love
shit.
that.
Did the whole shit on iMovie. I don't know how to edit. I don't know how to do any of this shit. So I did it, put it together. I was like, all right, cool. I'm gonna submit it. Then you have to get people to vote on it.
Oh.
Now, the great thing about this was I'm just getting out of college. I'm out of college for about a year at that point. Facebook was so big, you know, like, and I was a club promoter in college. One of my
Oh,
many
man.
freaking jobs
Easy.
in
That's an
college
easy-
was
easy
a club
vote right
promoter.
there.
And so all I did was make groups in Facebook before you can make groups in order so I can mass send out messages to hundreds of people. So if you go on my Facebook, I have like 5,000-6,000 people that I'm like friends with or whatever. friends. And so like anytime I worked on anything, anytime I was doing anything that was fraternity related, anytime I was doing anything personal related, I would mass send messages to everybody. And then I would also text every single contact in my phone individually.
Oh my God.
Individually.
Damn.
That's
Because
work.
Commitment.
Before
Yeah.
copy, was it one of those phones where you had to
No,
press the button?
Oh, the T9?
number, the
Yeah.
number.
This
like,
is-
the number like 20 times just to get that one
Yes.
letter.
Yeah,
T9.
yeah.
Damn.
It was,
There's no
Wow.
copy and paste.
Nah.
I think at that time, I might have had I think I had the Google phone at that time.
Oh, okay.
Like the G1.
The G1.
The G1.
That was the first one with
Swivel.
UPS.
Yeah, it used to have like, you could slide it up, but it would like swivel out. And
Nah, so
whatever.
you talking about the sidekick?
Nah,
Oh,
it was
okay,
after
okay,
that.
okay.
The sidekick had already existed. Sidekick
Yeah.
had been
The
around since
G1
high
had
school.
like even a mouse. Like
It had a little ball.
That's
Oh,
right.
it had like
Yeah,
this
yeah.
little ball
Yeah.
right
Yeah.
there.
Oh my
I
God.
remember that shit.
Yeah, so that one I used to be able to type. But anyway, I used to send mass messages out to people. Like, hey, can you check this out? Vote for me. Would really appreciate it. Whatever.
Spamming people before they knew what
Hey,
spam was.
Exactly. And so because of that, I ended up getting the opportunity because I ended up blowing out the person. There was another guy from like Florida that was trying to do it.
Yeah.
And I ended up, the amount of
know, right?
votes that I got was insane.
Blew him out the water.
Yeah. And so
Good for you.
Calixto, who started the entire, the film festival, he reached out to me directly and he was like, all right, come and meet everybody, come pick up your credentials. And he didn't tell me anything that I was going to be doing.
Oh my God.
Damn.
So I had no
Sounds right.
idea. I had literally no idea what I was going to be doing. And I end up on the red carpet for about a week during the film festival, and I'm interviewing people. I've got a camera crew just following me around. First time I'm ever doing anything like
I'm
this.
just kind of playing it by ear.
But it was, honestly, it was the most comfortable I've ever been in my life.
Oh wow.
You know what? You know that feeling of like, this is what I'm supposed to be
This is
doing.
where I
Right,
belong.
Yeah.
This is where I belong.
Yeah.
So I've been trying to be my whole life.
You know, and
Planets
This shit
align.
started from Sears catalog
It
all the way
started
to
back
here,
then,
bro.
and look at me now.
Your
you know what
mom,
I'm
your mom
saying?
saw the vision. God bless her. She saw the
She
vision.
did.
man.
Yeah, shout out to your
she
mom.
did,
For real.
man. Yo, shout out to her. But yeah, man, I mean, I did a lot of just like random stuff. I remember there was a Dominican night that was happening here in the Heights, part of the film festival. So I was on the red carpet and I was interviewing a couple people or whatever. And so on that red carpet, and mind you, this is when I met Mike. So when first day of the film festival, not during Dominican night, maybe 2 or 3 days prior to that, we met. First night of the film festival, and there was an after party at like, I forgot what club, some big club downtown. Anyway.
But it was Juan Bago's film on that film festival?
No, he was just there.
Oh, he was just there.
He was just
Okay,
there, like kind of hanging out, supporting and whatever. So I met him, I met Rachel La Loca, and everybody, like all of those guys, Jamie, Jerry, Frank, all of them during the film festival. Go to this after party. I'm downtown at this club, and I had knew about Mike a couple of months prior. Because you're from the Heights, and like you kind of you hear this name, you see this person.
You sure you don't know him from Mi Gente?
Nah, and I was on Mi Gente heavy. He was the number one guy. Listen, I was on Mi Gente heavy. I was on Asian Avenue heavy.
He was the number one dude. One year he was the number one guy.
I believe that. Asian Avenue. You didn't know about that?
I know about Mi Gente, but not
Asian Avenue was the Asian version of Mi Gente.
Really?
No way.
Yeah.
So wait, you didn't go to Black Planet?
I did. I had Black Planet also, and I had multiple profiles.
I've never heard of Asian
You
Avenue.
never heard of Asian Avenue,
Well,
bro?
So were you the only non-Asian in Asian Avenue?
Well, this is the thing.
Are you Asian? I'm sorry if you
did
are.
that help your number? Like, I mean, your interest?
Nah, because I'm talking. This is the time. Like you going on these things because I'm not there to meet people. I'm there to meet people. You know what I'm saying? Like, So
Did the algorithms work in your favor?
There were no algorithms at that
I think
time.
so. There weren't any. You're right.
Yeah,
there were
yeah.
no algorithms at that time.
More organic.
It was very organic. No, but I was on Asian Avenue because look, this is the thing. For those who have met me, you know that I could either be Indian or Dominican or mixed or whatever.
Right.
I'm culturally ambiguous.
You got the where are you from question all that.
I get that all the
Yeah,
time.
yeah.
And when I get into an Uber, sometimes they start talking to me in Arabic. You know what I'm saying? Like it happens, and I gotta like look at them like, bro,
Yo, my man.
Like I get it. It's the color, it's the nose. I understand. Like, so I went on Asian Avenue because Indians are Asian. So like, I was like,
Yeah.
My bad.
there you go.
Apologies for my
There you go.
ignorant
Well, because
assumptions.
clearly I'm only thinking of one geographic region
Yeah.
of Asia.
Open up your mind,
But
baby.
you gotta open.
So yeah, ended up doing all of those things. I had multiple pages
Canceled.
on Mi Gente
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
I had group pages, me and all my boys. You know, like
Yeah,
it would be like 5 niggas on one Mi Gente
I think we
page.
had one. Didn't we have one?
Yo, like,
I think we had one
yo,
too.
take
All
your
the cousins.
pick. Take your pick out here. Who you want? You know.
Yeah. We had
All
one
the
of
pictures
those.
was mad blurry and small. Niggas had glasses, backwards hat, bandanas on, looking real like.
We had one of those. Yo,
Used to go into paint and add a little like shine on your earring and shit to make that shit look extra.
Shit.
Little Photoshop.
So you meet all of them in the after party.
I met them at the after party, and literally me and Mike were at this after party in this club talking for over an hour. First time we like ever met, and we were just vibing. We're just talking, like, and that's like really weird because you're literally in the middle of a club. Like it was like a raging fucking club, and we're sitting like in VIP, and we're just there just talking. And so that's really where like our relationship kind of started. A couple days later, Dominican night here in the Heights, and I'm on the quote unquote red carpet, and I was like, yo, I want to do something funny. And so for some reason, I don't know where this came from, but there was a Platano. And so I came up with this this thing, and me and Mike
Platano on
was
the red
there.
carpet.
And Mike was there and was like, yo, let's do this shit on the camera. And so I had made up this thing, the I Platano. And it was like half a Platano with like a headphone jack, like kind of like stuck into it. And so and that was the I Platano. We made a like little sketch on right there on the spot about it. And that's where it kind of like I could tell that Mike he's down. He's down for whatever, and he doesn't look at any of my ideas as like, nigga, this is wild. Like,
You bugging out. You bugging out, bro.
You got half a Platano that's not even, like,
He's like, yeah, I got you. And kept riffing.
that's $1 right there. Anyway, but so that happened. Film festival passed. I had made so many amazing contacts, met so many producers, directors, actors, and that was amazing because again, it just turned my world completely upside down. And what we were talking about before, like, the 5 people, you know how your mom or your parents or whatever, they always say, yo, show me your friends and I'll show you who you are.
Yeah.
You know? That was when my scope started to get a little bit wider. And it was here in the Heights, and it was with talented people, and they were a little older than I am, you know. I was the young one in the group. And so that made me realize that, yo, I really want to be in entertainment. Like, this is what I want to do. And I had always knew, even when I was in college, like, when I graduated, I didn't know what I wanted to do. I had no idea. The one thing that I knew was that I wanted to be in entertainment somehow. Didn't know how, I just wanted to be that.
But on the camera or behind scenes, didn't care.
It didn't matter to me.
It
didn't matter to me. I just knew I wanted to be in entertainment. And entertainment comes in so many different forms.
Yeah, that's why I asked. Yeah,
and so that's the thing, you know. I think, and even now, like, yeah, I'm still kind of figuring it out. I think I'm going through like the other part of. I'm starting the other part of my life right now, right? So anyway, just fast forward. Film festival finishes. I've got all these amazing contacts. And now I'm even more comfortable, like, just being myself and just talking and just doing whatever, right? Just being a fucking fool. And chat rooms were super big at that time. And so I was on a chat room. I think it was for like La Mega. La Mega had a chat room or something like that.
No way.
It was on their website. It was like, you know, you can listen to the radio live, and then there's a little chat on the side.
That's like live Instagram before live Instagram.
Yeah.
For our younger listeners out there.
exactly. Yeah.
Exactly. So
Damn, I guess we got to include that portion. Fuck. I'll figure that out next.
So between that chat room and Twitter, because Twitter was still like in its infancy at that point, I used to go ham on just talking wild shit. Like, I would watch shows, and I would live tweet everything. So I'll be listening to the radio and I'm live tweeting what I'm hearing on the radio and like giving my personal whatever, you know, like my take on it. And so I'm in this chat room and Black and Yellow came on. They played Black and Yellow on La Mega, which was kind of funny. And then I'm talking shit. And for some reason I was like, yo, pan con queso. I don't know why, bro. I don't know why. And then the minute that I typed it into the chat, said pan con queso, pan con queso, pan con queso, and like repetitively in this fucking
But while
chat,
the song is playing in the background,
while Black and Yellow was playing
in the
on the fucking radio, and then it's midnight.
Oh shit.
I'm in bed on computer in front of me. I decide, I'm like, I haven't texted Mike. I haven't spoke to him in probably 2 months.
Oh wow!
Since the film festival had.
He's the first dude that popped up in your head when you thought about that.
First person I thought of was, yo, I'm gonna just text Mike this idea and just see what happens. And I texted him and I was like, yo, pan con queso on the Black and Yellow beat. And he was like, what? And I was like, bro. I was like, yo. And then I started writing, and it was funny because I'm gonna send it to you because I found it in my phone the first time I started typing it.
No way.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so like
That's
the
cool.
chorus essentially. And then I sent it to him and I was like, he's like, yo, what are you doing tomorrow? I was like, I don't know. He's like, yo, let's meet up. and let's talk about it. And I was like, all right, cool. I'm at that point, I was living in the Bronx at that point. So I came out here to the Heights. He had a studio. He was part of a production company that him and his boy Frank had started called Heights Entertainment. Mm-hmm. So, and this is coming off of the story of Juan Bago.
Oh, okay.
And all of the Ian, what is the East Liquor Wine?
So
Fernando the Party
Fernando.
Planner, all of that shit. Like, this is coming off of the heels of that, right? So he had assembled, Mike at this point had assembled this team. He had assembled a team of writers between Jerry and Anthony and Jamie himself, and then producers himself and Frank, and then obviously Rachel.
And he got a little following at that point.
Yeah, he had a little following. And
that's
that's the other thing too. A lot of people don't realize, obviously now at this point, but like Mike had been doing this podcasting thing way before podcasting was a thing. Like him and Rachel had their own radio show for Urban Latino Radio back in the day.
Oh wow.
And like, so that was an office down in Dumbo, and I remember I had gone out there and I seen them, you know, doing their thing. Like I had a girlfriend who used to be a designer for Urban Latino back in the day, and so I remember seeing them there and all that. Anyway, whatever. I meet them at the studio, which is a regular apartment building here in the Heights, and you walk in, and it is a full-on fucking music studio. Like, yo, boards, it got
Speakers,
a room,
the booth.
Yo, it has a real booth. It has everything. And I was like, what is going on? I'm 25 at the time. I'm like, what is this? How do y'all have this inside of a Heights
Apartment.
building? And so whenever I walk in and there's a bunch of people I don't know, and I'm like, and then Mike goes, he's like, all right, guys, I got an idea. Yo, Oscar, tell him. Tell him. I got an idea.
Were you prepared for that?
I was not prepared.
Did you give a pitch?
I didn't even know any of those people were gonna be there. And so I was like, all right. And so I told him, I was like, yo, that song Black and Yellow, Wiz Khalifa, what if we did pan con queso? Cheese is yellow. And like, you're like, let's make a song out of it. And everybody was like, there was silence. For a quick second in the room, there was silence. And in that split second, I said to myself, Jesus Christ, you're an idiot. What the fuck are they thinking? What are they thinking?
Oh my god.
And then I forgot who said something. It might have been either Jamie or Jeff or whatever. And they were like, yo, that's great. Fine, let's start doing it. And then Mike was like, yo, start writing. And so Jeff and Anthony start writing. They go into the back room and they start writing. Right there on the spot. Started writing.
Wow.
I gave them the
So
chorus.
you met Jeff through Mike?
I met Jeff that day through Mike.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah.
And who is Jeff?
Jeff is so
He's my co-host and he
got
is
it,
my
okay.
voice in
Got it.
Bago and No.
Okay.
And also just a rapper, which is insane because he's lived so many lives as well. Like, yo, Jeff, if you see this guy, man, like he's so smart, man. He's such a smart and talented dude. And like, but you would never think that this dude has bars. Like, yo, he could really
spit some shit. He could
Like,
spit some shit.
Like he could freestyle, like he can write music, and you look at him and you're like, nah, what? Like,
Damn.
and don't,
se ve como un muchachito de casa.
yeah, muy sano, muchachito sano,
Muchachito bueno.
But spits hot fire. Spits hot fire.
fire, man. And so, yo, him and Anthony went back, they wrote it up, and then they went into the booth that day.
Oh,
and
shit.
they recorded
Yeah,
it
one
that
day,
day.
boom,
really
wow.
quick
And so we
turnaround.
recorded the song. We wrote and recorded the song literally that day in
Wow.
in probably like 4 or 5 hours. And then Mike was like, all right, in 2 days, we're going to come back and we're going to shoot the video.
Damn, it was 2 days.
Wow.
2 days.
That's a quick output.
Yeah,
Playing no
and
games.
this is the
Yeah.
dead of winter. Like it was winter outside. It was snowing. There was
Back
snow
when
on the
winter
ground.
did exist.
Back when
Kids,
winter was
for
wintering.
those
you
of
know,
you
like
listening.
yeah. But so 2 days later, and then he's like, "Yo, just bring whatever." And I was like, "All right, yo, we didn't plan anything, bro. We just showed up." And so he's like, and he was like, "Yo, I could get my sister to do tattoos on us." And I was like, "What?" He's like, "Yeah, I want to put a tattoo on my face." And I was like, "All right, whatever, fuck it. Then I'll put a tattoo on my neck." Like we just. So
What
his
did-
sister is like with colored
What did your
pencils.
tat say?
Mine was the tropical, the queso blanco, the tropical.
Yeah, the brand,
He had that cheese joint, and then he had a
hilarious.
cafetera. I think he had a la greca. I think he had a greca on the side of his face.
What was used to put the tattoos?
Colored pencils, like makeup pencils.
Oh,
Makeup
okay, got
pencils.
it, okay.
And so his sister
So
was sitting
funny.
there just doing this on us or whatever. I brought a bunch of clothes, like we didn't have wardrobe. Like,
Yeah, but yeah, I was short sleeve in some of the scenes. Very
well,
bugging, if I
so-
remember.
So the entire like look and what we were doing, we literally hatched on the spot.
Wow.
So all of the clothes in the video that everybody's wearing, like what me and him are wearing, those are all my clothes, you know? So I dressed us for that. And I
Yeah.
was like, I want us to look the most ridiculous thing in the world. and Busta Rhymes, I love Busta Rhymes, and he has been an idol of mine since I was a kid, right? But I'm talking about Skinny Busta, not like Big Busta. I'm talking about Skinny Busta. Skinny Busta was an idol of mine, like Skinny Busta, Marlon Wayans, like all of these like dudes who were just like
Yeah.
very
Animated.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So I love that, and so when we were thinking about this video, I was like, yo. You remember when Busta Rhymes did the "Throw Your Hands When My Eyes Can See" in that video, and that part, dun, 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 dun. and like you just see him kind of like flaring everywhere, and so I was like, "Yo, I want this video to be like that," and he was like, all right, fuck it. And so there's scenes where we're just doing these very exaggerated kind of movements, like just running down a block, but we're running in slow motion and shit like that. And that was all inspired from that Busta Rhymes video. So it was just taking all of these like.
I meant to drop the bomb. I'm like, yo, Wiz Khalifa's track, Busta Rhymes, fucking animated
shit.
But that's the thing, like, yo, as a creative, you just take things from
I
your
don't call
environment.
it take. I say reference.
Reference.
You can reference.
You analyze.
You can say reference. You taking shit. There's no such thing as
colonizers take.
Yeah, that's fine. You see my hair, bro? You see my hair? I got really straight hair. I got some colonizer in me. Pause. But yeah, man. Like, but that's the thing. You have all of these amazing reference points through pop culture and just through your upbringing. Like you a 90s kid, you know what I'm saying? So like you bring that into your creative world, and you start kind of like trying to take some of these elements and try to figure out like what's your look, like what is you, who are you,
What's your
by
point of view?
taking all of these references or referencing all these references.
By putting all these references
Together.
together.
Yeah, together.
Thank you for proofreading that. So yeah, man. I mean, it was a really good time. It was the dead of winter. We were running around like lunatics all throughout the Heights and just shooting this thing. And we just wanted to look crazy. We wanted to look crazy. We were like, yo, what are some iconic spots in the Heights? First thing that came up to me, I was like, Dykeman, Seaman and Cumming. We got to go to Seaman and Cumming. We got to get that in the video. And that was the thing, yo, like nobody at that time had ever done any of the things that we were doing. Nobody had ever really shone a light on the Heights at that time. And again, my adult ADHD is going to kind of go all over the place real quick. 2010 was a very, very, very special time for Uptown. Like it was an extremely special time that I reference all the time as a cult. It was a, what did I call it? Cultural renaissance. It was a cultural renaissance that was happening here in the Heights. So businesses opening up, people coming out of college that went to college and came back home and trying to figure out like, yo, what am I doing now? Like, I like, what am I gonna do now? You know, like the economy sucked. You talking about 2009, 2010, the economy sucked back then. So a lot of people didn't have jobs and
Niggas had to stay with mommy and papi.
Of course. It wasn't even an
Cultural
option.
capital came back.
It wasn't even an option, but you had such an influx of creativity and young, youthful creativity that was starting to spawn here. And it was an opportunity for us, like these young kids from the Heights, from Uptown, to really take the power that we had, or the resources that we had, to really shine a light on our environment, right? But in a positive way. Like none of our stuff references like drugs or any of that other shit. And like, you know, growing up in the Heights, like, yo, 163rd and Broadway, like that block is hot, bro.
Yeah.
That block has been hot forever.
Yeah.
And so when you grow up and you seeing nothing but those visuals all the time,
It fucks with you.
You ain't trying to
fucks
talk
with
about
you.
this. The alto, bro.
but it's just the reality. And the thing is that a lot of people don't know that. And it's not to like glorify it in any way. It's just that like, yo, there is a very rich history, a lot of ups and downs from this specific neighborhood, you know, like, and in a very small radius specifically. Like, anyway, adult ADHD. I had to grab the fidget to get me back on track.
Get them back.
Yo, fast forward, we end up shooting the video. Video was fantastic. We edited it in about a week. And then Mike was like, yo, we're about to upload this on YouTube. And I was like, all right, fuck it, let's do it. He uploads it. And I remember where I was. I was in the Bronx. I was at a bar. Yeah. And it was like 11 o'clock at night. And he texted me.